Live from our Park Forest studios, this is Steve Sporty Balls, the super sized balls edition. I'm your announcer, Harry von Stuttgart. Tonight, we review the Super Bowl from A to Z. We tell you who won the commercial Super Bowl. We'll even give you the historic moment that a sponge and a starfish made history. All that and the usual stuff. But right now, here's the man who is supersized himself because that's how our sporty balls are. We're huge. Steve, the Baxman Bexley. One of these days, we got to get better writers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a supersized edition of Steve Sporty Balls. We were planning to do a show last night, but alas, I was still at my friend's home, and because of that, there wasn't a chance to bring you the Sunday Sporty Balls. So we decided we're going to supersize everything tonight. That's right. We are here to bring you the mighty post Super Bowl broadcast. Yes, indeedy. So we're going to do that right now and give you a look-ski at how things are doing. Hey, Nancy Nichols. Hey, hello to our producer, one of the co-hosts, or as I like to call it, equal host of our podcast, Last Call Cafe on Spreaker, which will be coming back as soon as our buddy Jay gets his computer back. Oh, let us pray that he does. Let's see. Hey, Deborah, good friend Deborah, who we understand did a little promotion live on TikTok. So we hope we got some new viewers. So here we are. Give it to you straight. Yeah, we need the recap, boys and girls. Thank you. Thank you in the control room. We need to do this correctly. Okay. We're supposed to give the recap, And then that says the hot shamil. And we're getting a little. Okay. Here we go. Go. With your supersized Super Bowl post show. Ugh. Call it a dynasty. Thank you. Call it a dynasty. Call it a Winnebago. Call it luck. Call it kismet. Or as the Detroit Lions would like to call it, just desserts. The Kansas City Chiefs are your back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Patrick Mahomes engineered a 75-yard touchdown drive to conclude overtime of Super Bowl 58, leading the Chiefs to their second consecutive NFL championship with a score of 25-22. Now, before we continue on with just how they did it and how everything went, I got to tell you something. I have heard nothing more than complaint. This year's Super Bowl was boring. It wasn't good. And those mainly are from the people who wish they had a blowout. But they didn't. This had what everybody loved. If you are a true football fan, you were enchanted with this edition of the Super Bowl. Why? You had two great teams, no mismatches. The Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers were equally matched from quarterback on down to coach. And I guarantee you, this was a Super Bowl, excuse the cliche, for the ages. Kansas City became the first team since the 2003-2004 New England Patriots, long may they live, to win back-to-back titles, and it was just the second overtime game in Super Bowl history. Nicole Hardman caught a 3-yard pass from Mahomes, one of only 3 players to win 3 or more Super Bowl MVPs during the 13-play walk-off scoring drive, just one possession after the 49ers' Jake Moody kicked a 27-yard field goal to conclude a 13-play, 66-yard drive that put San Francisco ahead of Kansas City to start the extra period. And what all of us Detroit Lions fans were hoping lightning wasn't going to strike twice in San Francisco would win. The championship, I'm sorry for the folks. The championship winning drive, which included a 4th-and-1 scramble from Mahomes and a clutch 7-yard catch from tight end Travis Kelce, was a must score for Kansas City. The NFL's new playoff overtime rules, which were stupid, dumb, ignorant, and baseless. But then again, it was the new rules, which I'm hoping they extend to the regular season, the playoffs, and beyond. Because this is what you need in overtime. You need 2 teams battling it out and going for either a touchdown or field goal. Not just one team winning. No. Have both teams play it out in overtime. Come on. Do it. You do it for the Super Bowl. Do it for the playoffs. Do it for the regular season. I'll even throw in the preseason. The NFL new playoff rules, both teams are guaranteed at least one possession in the extra period. They were in effect for the first time. The Chiefs needed to answer the Niners' field goal. Scoring sparked, well, either way, with 34 points posted after halftime as defense not dominated the first 30 minutes. The Niners started with a 10-0 advantage as head coach Kyle Shanahan went into his bag of tricks with wide receiver Juan Jennings throwing a touchdown to Christian McCaffrey in the second quarter. Jennings was just pure dynamite. There we go. Was just pure dynamite for San Francisco, also grabbing a late go-ahead score while McCaffrey fumbled on the game's first possession, but finished with 160 total yards. The Chiefs avoided a first-half shutout with a late field goal from Harrison Butker, or as we like to call him, or as they call him now, Butt Kicker, yes. But it was a sluggish effort until the break, with Kelce logging just one catch. The offensive malaise continued after Usher's halftime performance, with Mahomes throwing an interception to start the third quarter. It was clear Kansas City needed some sort of break to truly push San Francisco. The Super Bowl turned on a dime later that period. Butker drilled a Super Bowl record 57-yard field goal, and the Chiefs converted a fumble punt off the heels of Niners special teamer Darrell Luter Jr. in the red zone into a touchdown. Mahomes found Marquez Valdez Scantling across the goal line on the next play, held out of the end zone until that point. Kansas City grabbed its first lead of the game at 13-10. Jennings' touchdown receiving, followed by a missed extra point, concluded a 75-yard drive that put the Niners back on top 16-13 as the wideout joined former Philadelphia Eagle quarterback Nick Foles as the only players to throw and catch a touchdown in a Super Bowl. The Chiefs drove down to the 3-yard line but settled for a 24-yard field goal from Butker to retie the game before Moody responded with a 53-yarder. However, Mahomes successfully executed a 2-minute drill as Butker added a 29-yard field goal with 3 seconds remaining in regulation to force that lovely OT. Mm-hmm. Butker and Moody put together historic performances, combining to go 7 for 7 on field goals in the game. Moody previously set the Super Bowl record with a 55-yard field goal to start the second quarter before being bested by Butker. Bested by a Butker. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mahomes was exceptional. He was just on, I hate to say this, but he was just en fuego. Or is that el fuego? Whatever iteration you like, he was that. He was on fire. He was so on fire, Smokey the Bear wanted to talk to him after the game because he was burning down the house. Mahomes, exceptional, completing 34 of 46 passes for 333 yards with 2 touchdowns, an interception, while picking up 66 yards rushing on 9 carries. He spread the ball around 8 pass catchers, had at least 2 receptions, slowly but surely overcoming a threatening 49ers defense that knocked him off his spot constantly. Dandelion Fluff, good evening. We'll have your hockey scores shortly. That knocked him on his spot constantly in the first half. Mahomes, with his 3rd Super Bowl MVP, now sits alongside the GOAT, Tom Brady, with 5, Joe Montana with 3, atop the mountain, while becoming just the 3rd player to win the award back-to-back, joining the legendary Bart Starr, Super Bowls 1 and 2, and Terry Bradshaw, Super Bowls 13 and 14. Kelce finished with 93 yards on 9 receptions, doing much of his work in the second half and in overtime, while Hardman and Valdez-Scantling caught Mahomes' touchdowns. Niners quarterback Brock Purdy. Wow. That was a stunner, wasn't it? Yes. Completed 22 of 38 passes for 255 yards and a touchdown, with star wide receiver Deebo Samuel only gaining 41 total yards while battling through injury. The Chiefs are the first repeat champions since the 2003 and 2004 Patriots, snapping the largest such drought in NFL history. Mahomes now has 15 playoff wins. Only Brady and Montana have more in NFL history. All 3 of Mahomes' Super Bowl wins have come after Kansas City trailed by 10 points or over. And this is the 4th Super Bowl championship in Chiefs history. The Chiefs are the 5th team to win 3 Super Bowls in a 5-year span. Kelce is the 3rd player in NFL history to lead 3 Super Bowl championship teams in yards receiving, and Andy Reid is tied with Joe Gibbs and Bill Walsh for the 3rd most Super Bowl titles by a head coach in NFL history. Now, what are the takeaways from all this? You may ask, you may inquire. Well, Travis Kelce. Thank you. Thanks, Nancy. Now, Travis Kelce, is he the best tight end ever in the NFL? He certainly has a strong case after becoming the 3rd player in NFL history to lead 3 Super Bowls. There you go, 3 Super Bowls. You didn't think there were going to be visuals. To lead 3 Super Bowl championship teams in yards receiving, While he did not find the end zone, Kelsey was integral to the Chiefs coming back and hoisting their third Lombardi in 5 seasons. Sunday night, and he is not finished yet, saying during the post-game interview with our man, Jim Nance. Hello, friends. That he's eyeing on Pete Dautre, otherwise known as the three-peat kids. I mean, we're talking crazy, isn't he? CBS Sports NFL writer Brian Diardo. I once saw a person named Diardo. He came from the land of the Dorado. Diardo. Definitely think so. As he put Patrick Mahomes' performance in Super Bowl 58 in the top 5 of quarterback performances all time in the big game. Diardo's reasoning, and check out the rest of his top 30 quarterback performances at cbssports.com. Those are our nice friends. We have some nice friends over there at CBS Sports. We love them. Now, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, that's who you think about when you think of the Chiefs dynasty. Did anyone get the time? 8 seconds. You sure? Yeah. Okay, there you go. We have to do things, legally here on YouTube, or else we would get, just copyright stricken. No, you cannot do that. So 8 seconds. That's it. Okay. They deserve a large amount of the credit for winning 3 Super Bowls. Three Lombardis. Over the past 5 years, but this season much more so than the others. The defense was just as impressive, if not more so at times, and when the offense sputtered during the first half of Super Bowl 58 against the 49ers, the defense made enough plays to keep the game close until Mahomes and his playmakers found their rhythm. Here's 5 things we will remember about Super Bowl 58. Number 5. What started as a sluggish Super Bowl gave way to plenty of theatrics late, with the teams trading scores throughout the second half and overtime until the Chiefs walked off with the championship on a touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes to Miracle Hardman. La, 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 la. So, what are these 5 things we will remember? Well, I'm going to tell you. Hey, LDG, how you doing? Welcome to the supersized Monday post Super Bowl show. We got hockey scores coming up. We got soccer scores coming up. So, for those of you who are fans of hockey, glad you're sticking around. Now, let's see. Here we go. Here are the 5 things we're all going to remember. Number 5, overtime was here. You just watched the longest Super Bowl ever. This game was much longer than the Super Bowl's only other overtime matchup, when ended when James White's game-winning touchdown gave the Patriots the Lombardi over Atlanta in Super Bowl 51. LI. That's 51. With 11:02 left in overtime. This was the 7th longest game in NFL history, a game that lasted 74 minutes and 57 seconds. How about Patrick Mahomes' magic? Check this. I mean, it is fitting that Patrick Mahomes is the first quarterback since Tom Brady to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Cha-cha-cha. Watching Mahomes is eerily similar to watching Brady in that you just expect him to deliver in crunch time. He did not disappoint. The numbers for Patrick Mahomes says it best. 67.2% completions, 4,183, or for those of you with exact measurements, 4,183 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and 7.01 yards attempt. Wow. It wasn't pretty early, but Mahomes engineered the Chiefs' offense to five scoring drives in the second half, including the game-tying drive to force overtime. And a 13-play, 75-yard game-winning drive in said overtime. Mahomes threw for 333 yards, his most in a Super Bowl, but he did just as much damage with his legs. In overtime, he picked up 8 yards on a 4th-and-1 play. His 19-yard run 6 plays later helped set up his game-winning touchdown pass to Mecole Hardman. The Chiefs are the new dynasty. And do we really have to say this? Please. Do we? Yes, you do. You know your contract. Yes, I do. Let's see. What were we? Yeah, okay, Patrick Mahomes' magic was numero 4. Number 3. Can we say it? Why do we have to say it? But I guess we will. Taylor Swift. Okay, either you love this storyline, you hated this storyline, or you just wanted to just throw up because you ate too many nachos and you needed something to help make you, go to the bathroom and barf it up. Either way, you will remember Swift and her presence during the 2023 season. Nor will you ever be allowed to forget it in every highlight reel in the free world, including during Super Bowl 58. The music star and significant other of Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, or as a certain presidential candidate by the name of Hillary Hinton. Hillary Clinton tweeted, Taylor's boyfriend, drew one of the biggest cheers Sunday night when she downed an adult beverage, aka a beer, during the TV timeout. For a while, it appeared that Swift's first Super Bowl appearance would be a somber one, much like Britney Spears when she was dating some guy with the Dallas Cowboys, some quarterback with them named Tony Blowhard, Blockmore. Oh, Tony Romo. Skull. But in the end, Swift capped a Chiefs win with a celebratory kiss. No, not to CBS's Jim Nantz, but to Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. And give the 49 numero 3, another missed opportunity for the 49ers. And Lions fans agree. Give the 49ers credit for battling, but you can't ignore the fact that San Francisco gave up another double-digit lead to the Chiefs in a Super Bowl. Like in Super Bowl 54, the 49ers watched a 10-point lead evaporate into thin air. See it go bye-bye. And really, the 49ers had a chance to distance themselves from the Chiefs in the first half, like they did with the Lions. But we're not able to. They paid for it in the second half when Mahomes and company started to warm up and Kansas City's defense applied more pressure on Brock Purdy, who had his moments but wasn't good enough on the game's biggest stage. Now, we call that reversal of fortune because in the first half of the Lions versus the San Francisco 49ers, The Lions were up by double digits. In the second half, San Francisco came back and we just got destroyed. But thank you, Kansas City. We really needed you to do that. So shine the Lombardi up because we'll get it. We'll get it next season. For all their miscues, just like the one I had, including a muffed punt late in the third quarter that set up a Chiefs touchdown. Who? Oh, it's so sad. Serves you right, San Francisco. Yeah. The 49ers put together scoring drives late in the fourth quarter and in overtime. But both drives ended in field goals that gave the Chiefs an opportunity to respond. Kansas City responded both times. Ooh. One of the biggest miscues occurred. Thank you. I speak Anglais. On the 49ers' final offensive play, which was an incomplete pass after Chris Jones knocked down Purdy's hurry pass. Jones told ESPN afterwards that the 49ers messed up on the play as he was not blocked. Oh! In defeat, 49ers received solid efforts from Christian McCaffrey, Juan Jennings, Fred Warner, the Cadillac, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, and Jake Moody. McCaffrey, who had 80 rushing and receiving yards, each along with a touchdown catch, likely would have won MVP had the 49ers won the game. But as we said, they didn't win. And for all of us here in Detroit, here in the Detroit, Mid-Michigan area, Jackson, Lansing, Ann Arbor, we like to say again, thank you, Kansas City. As I told my friends last night during the half, Kansas City now knows how Detroit feels when San Francisco was about ready to slam the door. Here are the 49ers injuries. Mahomes was a big reason why the 49ers lost their second Super Bowl in 5 years to the Chiefs, but injuries were also a factor as well. San Francisco lost a key member of its defense when linebacker Dre Greenlaw left the game for good after injuring his Achilles with 9:26 left in the first half. Greenlaw's injury, which occurred in front of cameras live, he was running onto the field with the 49ers leading 3-0 with Greenlaw out. The Chiefs took advantage, especially Mahomes, who made several big plays with his legs in the middle of San Francisco's defense. Greenlaw wasn't the only 49er starter to get injured during Sunday's game. Deebo Samuel played most of the second half with a hammy injury. Guard Jean Feliciano, don't be discouraged. The man became so hard to understand. The man, if you know Chico and the Man, used to be an NBC series. Jack Albertson starred with young Freddie Prinze. Well, John Feliciano left the game with an injury late in the third quarter. Strong safety Jair Brown got hurt when he knocked Kelsey out of bounds on a touchdown-saving tackle with 10 seconds left in regulation. Tight end George Kittle jogged into the locker room during the first possession of overtime after injuring his shoulder. He returned to the game, but he clearly wasn't himself. He kept asking, "Hey, where's my friend Pat McAfee?" And this isn't WrestleMania. The Kansas City Chiefs just won back-to-back Super Bowls. You can get your Chiefs back-to-back Super Bowl hats, shirts, jerseys, and more after the historic win. And there you go. It was an amazing Super Bowl despite what everyone thinks. I mean, so what? The score was, what were the score? 25-20. It says 25-22. Are you sure that was the score? Yeah, that was the score 25-22. Thank you. Let's see, 12. Yep, 25-22 was the big score. Uh, let's give you, well, we gave you most of the deets. So there you go. I mean, that was an incredible game last night. Now, there was more history to talk about. As you know, we've been touting it. Everybody's been touting it. Long time ago, the NFL kept being besieged by fans saying, "Hey, about early '80s to the end of the '90s, maybe even beyond, 2000, etc. There have been calls for the Super Bowl to be played on cable TV." And the NFL at first said, "No, we're not going to do that. Maybe someday, maybe soon, but no, it's going to stay on broadcast television." After 2 years of an experiment with the first network for kids, Nickelodeon, like CBS, a part of Paramount Global. Da 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 da. The ratings for the games that CBS and Nickelodeon aired, the wildcard games, were fantastic for both the linear side, the broadcast side, CBS, and the cable side, cable satellite side, Nickelodeon. So much so, it stood to reason that when CBS got the right in the in the big spinneroonie where every network gets a chance, CBS gets Super Bowl 58 next year. Fox from New Orleans gets 59. CBS and the NFL said, "We got to do it. We got to do it. We got it." And so Nickelodeon, which touted itself long ago when it debuted 44 years ago as the first cable network, cable and satellite network for kids, would become history touted, everything touted. They would become the first cable satellite network for kids, network for sports, network for news, network for entertainment. I say that all in one line, well, except for the news. I say that all in one line. They would earn that mark to be the first cable network to broadcast the Super Bowl. So, congratulations to the men and women of Nickelodeon for the very inventive way they did it. It was great. Now, if you have Hulu, you might say they. I think it can be replayed. I think it's going to get replayed. I don't know if it's the CBS or the Nickelodeon feed or maybe both, but Nickelodeon did one fantastic job in literally making the Super Bowl coverage look like an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. You had SpongeBob and Patrick Star, joining play-by-play voices Noah Eagle and um, Nate Burleson from CBS Mornings and the NFL Today. As play-by-play voices, Sandy Cheeks was your sideline reporter, along with the two Dylans. There was another kid reporter, but she was only used sparingly. Dora the Explorer was the rules analyst, and the storyline went like this: Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob, Patrick, and all his friends We're going to watch the Super Bowl. But Sandy Cheeks had this old TV set, but a little surprise. A remote control transformed the set into a ginormous smart TV, I guess you would say it. Well, Patrick and SpongeBob took the remote control and started playing and pressing buttons so much that the TV grew and grew and grew and grew until it literally sparked. And down came Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. So, while in reality, the Super Bowl was in Viva Las Vegas, baby. Oh, Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. The storyline for this, I'm going to say it's Super Bowl Super SpongeBob SquarePants, was that Allegiant Stadium came down to Bikini Bottom to actually Bikini Bottom being the host of the Super Bowl. It was fantastic. You had Larry the Lobster. You Squidward trying to get to the bathroom. He was in line for most of the game. And when he finally finished up his duties in the men's room, he then decided to join the crowd. And, well, didn't see much for obvious reasoning. This was great. Jellyfish, even plankton. That's right, plankton. And Mr. Krabs, and, of course, the gang from the Krusty Krab. And, well, nobody went to Plankton's little restaurant, the Chum Bucket. But this telecast was fun. They utilized Dora to help the kids that were watching learn about football, learn about first downs, learn about all the stuff the referees were doing. Now, at halftime, of course, Nickelodeon not only did the Usher halftime show, but they also did a plug for the Thundermans movie. Yes, Thundermans, I think they're called. That's going to be streamed on Paramount Plus. I have to do it in that kind of Paramount Plus because their commercials were not bad. Okay, and I give them, I checked the overnights, and unofficially, the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon. Where is it, boys? Somewhere in the bowels of history. Here it is. Nickelodeon. This was the highest rated Nickelodeon broadcast. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Okay. The walls have ears. If they had eyes, they would know. So, here now. Okay, it was truly a unique historical moment in television history. Speaking of historical moments, we don't need the kazoo for this, but are you ready? Once again, we won't know the official